Today I want to show you guys how to factor trinomials. Alright, the first step to factor this trinomial is to multiply these two outer terms together. So 6 times -10 will give us -60. Now what we want to do is we want to take factors of -60 that when added together will give us this middle term 11. So let's see, a factor of 60, we could say 6 times 10. Well, there's no way that I could add 6 and 10 together to get 11. Keep in mind that this negative sign here, we decide later on where that negative sign is going to go. So for example, I could put it here, I could say 10 minus 6, or I could say 6 minus 10. But no matter how I do that, I'm not going to get 11x. So let's try another factor. Let's say, what is 5? 60 divided by 5, we get 5 times 12. Okay, no matter how I arrange 5 and 12, I'm not going to get 11. Okay, what about, let's say 4 times 15. And I think we have a winner there, 4 and 15. So if we subtract 4 from 15, we're going to get 11. So that means that the negative sign needs to go on the number 4. Okay, the next step, what we want to do is we want to take this first term and kind of split it apart. A real easy way to do this technique, I'm not quite too sure where this originates, but I find it really easy. We're going to take the 6x squared and we're going to kind of do this. We're going to say 6x, and then we're going to fill in these factors here. So -4, 6x minus 4, and 6x plus 15. The next step is to find a common factor in each one of these. So what's the common factor here? What's the greatest common factor of 6 and 4? We know that's 2. So we're going to say divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay, that leaves us 3x minus 2. Now we want to look at what's the greatest factor between 6 and 15. The greatest common factor between 6 and 15 is 3. So we're going to divide this by 3 and this by 3. 6x divided by 3 leaves us 2x, and 15 divided by 3 leaves us 5. So here's our factor. This is how we factored it out. Our final answer is 3x minus 2 times 2x plus 5. And to see if this answer is correct, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and multiply it back out. We're going to multiply this back out and see if we come up with the original trinomial that we started with. So to do that, we do like this. Okay. 3x times 2x. 3x times 2x gives us 6x squared. 3x times positive 5 gives us plus 15x. Okay, then we're going to do this, -2. Okay, -2 times positive 2 gives us, times positive 2x gives us minus 4x. And -2 times positive 5, that gives us -10. So let's combine all the terms. We got 6x squared plus 15x minus 4x gives us positive 11x. And that -10, the constant, stays on the end. So sure enough, when we multiply it back out, we get the same answer that we started with. So we know we have factored this correctly. And our final answer, once again, is 3x minus 2 times 2x plus 5. Okay, let's give this next one a shot. 4p squared plus 21p plus 5. Okay, first step, we're going to multiply these two outer terms together to get the number 20. Now we're going to take factors of 20 and see when added together if they equal 21. Well, right off the bat, if you guys are good with numbers, you know that 1 times 20 is a factor of 20. Also 10 times 2. 4 times 5. Now, which one of these factors are going to add up to 21? You can see it's our first one, 20 and 1. So here's our two factors, 1 and 20. Next step, we're going to take this first term and break it apart. So we can get 4p and 4p. And then we're going to put these factors in. So 4p plus 1, 4p plus 20. Next, we need to find the greatest common factor and divide out. So we can see that this guy here, he's already factored out. There's no common factor that I could divide in here to reduce it. So since this can't be reduced, it's going to remain the same. This one here, we could see we could reduce this one. The highest common factor between 4 and 20 is 4. So for our first term, we have 4p plus 1. For our second one, we have p plus 5. Okay, let's see what happens when we multiply these back out if we get the same trinomial that we started with. So 4p times p, it gives us 4p squared. 4p times 5 gives us 20p. 1 times p, that just gives us 1p. And then 1 times 5, that gives us 5. Combine like terms, we get 4p squared plus 21p plus 5. And that's the same we started with, so we know we have factored this correctly. Okay, our next trinomial, negative 4x squared plus 10x plus 6. Now, right off the bat, you could see that these are all even. So what we could do is we could factor something out of there. Okay, what we're going to factor out, let's factor out a negative 2. So negative 4x squared divided by negative 2 just gives us 2x squared. 10 divided by negative 2 gives us negative 5. Don't forget the x. And 6 divided by negative 2 gives us negative 3. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to zoom in on this here and use our trick. We're going to multiply these two outer terms, the 2 and the 3. It gives us negative 6. We're going to find factors of negative 6 that when added together give us negative 5. So if you're good with numbers, you know right off the bat that that's 1 and 6. Let's see, 6 minus 1, that gives us positive 5, so we have to do 1 minus 6. Okay, so let's rewrite this. We're going to say negative 2. And we're going to say 2x. Okay, so we know that's plus 1 and minus 6. Now we need to find the greatest common factor and factor that out. Here we can see this isn't going to reduce. You can see this one will reduce. What's the greatest common factor between 2 and negative 6? That's going to be 2. Okay, so rewriting this, we're going to have 2x divided by 2. That's just going to give us x. Negative 6 divided by 2 gives us negative 3. And then we have the 2x plus 1. And this negative 2, it could just drop down right here. So here's our final answer. Negative 2 times 2x plus 1 times x minus 3. Let's go ahead and multiply this back out, expand it, and see if we can come up with the same trinomial that we started with. Okay, let's drop this negative 2. Let's just drop that into one of these here. So negative 2 times 2x gives us negative 4x. Negative 2 times 1 gives us negative 2. Okay, then we have the x minus 3. Negative 4, so we're going to go ahead and do like this. negative 4 times x gives us negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times negative 3 gives us positive 12x. And then negative 2 times x gives us negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 3 gives us positive 6. So let's go ahead and add up the common factors. Plus 12 minus 2, that gives us a positive 10x plus 6. You can see, sure enough, that's the same trinomial we started with, so we know we factored it properly. So our answer was negative 2 times 2x plus 1, x minus 3. Okay, 16x squared minus 11x minus 5. First step, what we want to do, multiply these two outer terms. 16 times negative 5 gives us negative 80. Second step, we want to find factors of 80 that when added together will give us this middle term, negative 11. Okay, to make up the number 80, we could say 8 times 10. That's not going to give us a negative 11. Well, what about the numbers we started with, the 16 and 5? So you could say 5 and 16. Well, 16 minus 5 will give us 11, but we need a negative 11, so how about 5 minus 16? Okay, next step, what we want to do, we want to break apart this first term. So we're going to say 16x plus 5 minus 16. Let's see, this first one can't be reduced any further. This one here, we could factor out a common 16 to both these terms. So we're going to say divide by 16, divide by 16. So that's going to leave us x minus 1 and 16x plus 5. So there's our answer, 16x plus 5 times x minus 1. Now let's go ahead and multiply these two back through and see if we can't come up with the original trinomial that we started with. To do that, we're going to say 16x times x, 16x times minus 1. So 16x times x will give us 16x squared. 16x times minus 1 will give us minus 16x. Okay, the next number, 5. 5 times x gives us positive 5x, and 5 times negative 1 give us negative 5. So adding these two terms together and bringing everything down, we get 16x squared minus 11x minus 5. Sure enough, that's the same one we started off with, so we know we factored it correctly. Our final answer was 16x plus 5 and x minus 1. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a new trick for me. I really like it. This trick here of dividing out the common factor. I'm not quite too sure where this comes from. I think this is an Indian version, a Vedic trick for factoring trinomials. I really like it. It makes it very, very fast. Sometimes you can't use this. You can't always use this, and in cases like that, use a different technique to do the factoring. But when you can use it, it just makes it extremely fast way to find the answers. I hope you guys enjoy this. Please like and comment, like and subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Thank you.